Hi, it's Maggie. I wanted to talk about Neptune today. Neptune has a very, very long station. We're all feeling it. Neptune station in Pisces. I'm going to throw some dates out. On April 4th, 2011, like the day after my birthday, not that it was 2011, but yeah, so April 4th, 2011, and it also stationed April 5th, 2011. So that period of time, it also stationed February 3rd, 2012. In 2012, you know, everyone was talking about the Mayan prophecy, and 2012 was a very significant year for me and for a lot of people. A lot of people, myself included, lost loved ones. I had quite a few loved ones pass away during that time. So through October, it will also station October 22nd, 2025. So you can see where we are now. Neptune squaring Pluto, there's just been so much misinformation, and people are just really buying into this dream illusions and dreams and fantasies and what's real and what's not real. Neptune just really fogs everything up. It's illusion, it's fantasy, it's the end, you know, it's the ruler of Pisces, so everything goes into the ocean of Pisces, and so Neptune and Jupiter are both the rulers of Pisces. So whatever house you have Neptune in, that's where it affects you. Currently it's in Pisces, so I have it in the 12th house. But collectively, because it's an outer planet, the outer planets affect us more collectively, but it also affects you individually, where you have it in your wheel. You know, if you have it in your relationship house, which actually natally, I do have it in the 7th house. I was thinking transiting Neptune, which is what I'm talking about. Transiting Neptune is in the 12th house. Well, it's in Pisces, whatever house you have it in. So, because of the square to Pluto, it's just all the way through 2025, and so I'm going to throw some more dates out. It will station October 22nd, 2025 to January 26th, 2026, and that's when it stations. It's more powerful. So it's just right now. Let me just talk about a few retrogrades. It's going. Neptune will go stations retrograde 20 degrees on June 23rd, 2020. So that's coming up, and Neptune starts direct November 29th, 2020. So 2020 has been a hell of a year, all the way from 2011 until now. I believe my father died. I tried to block it out, but I think it was around 2011. So Neptune, right now we're seeing a lot of, it's compassion, service, you know, humanitarian. We're dealing with the COVID crisis as it is, but a lot of our wounding, you know, as a world, you know, is coming up to be healed, and Neptune and Pisces is showing us that, and you know, Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter, the great conjunction that we had, was pretty much putting it in our face exactly what we're dealing with, and so now we're being deluged with injustices that we need to take care of, that we need to look at and have compassion, and but it's at the same time it's causing a lot of division and a lot of confusion, and just nobody seems to be communicating very clearly or being heard. Neptune is like the king of the sea, you know, the king of the sea, and so everything gets sort of drowned in what you once saw, like a lot of people buying into like cult-like thinking or conspiracy theories or false news or just this and that. I I don't know, maybe someday they'll look back and just, wake up and realize that it was all just an illusion that they bought into. Or maybe this romance they're in, once the rose-colored spectacles come off, they'll realize this real ugly person that is just glaringly in front of them that they thought was his dream lover. Neptune in your financial house, can just wreak havoc with your finances. It can be fine. You just need to be very, very careful about being deceived. It can also be deception. There's a lot of deception going on collectively in the world. So Neptune is bringing up ecological issues, with the oceans and the weather and hurricanes and all of it. Cleaning up the seas. We want to clean up the seas. And then a lot of people just want to pollute the seas. And, there's a lot of division between big business, the authority, versus the people. It's kind of like a square off right now, with all the racial tension, and National Guard and police, and, Black Lives Matter, absolutely Black Lives Matter. And with the elections coming up, Neptune in Pisces is just messy. It's just very, very messy. It's a surrender, it's sacrifice, it's salvation, so like MLK, there is hope after this, but right now we're going through the deluge of Neptunian waters. Divine experience, it could be divine experience, compassion, mystical yearning. A lot of people are having that. New path aligned with your wishes and dreams. Neptune is all about wishes and dreams in Pisces, so you might begin an entirely new path, one that lines up with your spiritual desires, or, you might decide to join the Red Cross, or, do volunteer work, or doctors and nurses and, people stepping up to help with the COVID epidemic, pandemic, rather. New boundaries, rules. Neptune fogs up the boundaries. There are no boundaries with Neptune. So creating new boundaries with Neptune, they just kind of leak out all over the place. It's like having a conversation with Pisces, I love Pisces. They're very sweet. It can be kind of all over the place. New boundaries, new rules. Neptunian guilt, societal guilt, which is what we're dealing with right now, this collective guilt of slavery. And, reparations have been brought up before, and, we're just once again having, civil rights marches. So we're dealing with collective guilt and shame. It reveals a lack of unity. Capricorn and Saturn, we're sextiling Neptune. So a lot of people they have spiritual ideals. Some have spiritual ideals, and some are holding on to pretty radical ideals. Or some are starting their own cults and their own religions, or their own conspiracy, or their own, I'm just going to give an example of that radical group that they named anti-white supremacists. I was trying to even wrap my mind around that one. That's, it's just a shame that we're even at this point, but we collectively are going to get through it. Neptune is very spiritual. It's like a higher law, higher ruling. If you think of archetypes, it's watching over us, and it's trying to guide us with compassion and love and universal love. That is the higher octave of Neptune. Also singing, poetry, music, um, religion, um, a lot of underwater discoveries. We may discover some shipwrecks, old shipwrecks. But anyway, I just wanted to give the dates for when Neptune stations, and we're going to have these all the way through 2026. So, it's kind of coming to terms with ourselves and our shadow self as well, which is also Pluto's shadow side. So we're dealing with both shadows. Every planet has a shadow side. So we're dealing with Neptune shadow, and we're also dealing with Pluto's shadow, which right now is corruption and rioting and slavery, all the guilt and shame that we've been carrying, and that we have to deal with now. That we need to look at it now squarely in its ugly face. And so I was going to say something else, but it's just coming to terms with yourself. Yeah, since the COVID-19 pandemic, we've been quarantined. I still feel quarantined. I choose to be quarantined pretty much. I could go out in restaurants and eat, sure, but what for? I just don't see the point. And with all these demonstrations, surely the numbers are going to rise. So I'm erring on the side of caution. I really am, because I think this pandemic's going to be around quite some time. Neptune also, rules the lungs. Gemini rules the lungs. Gemini is air sign, and so all the eclipses are going to be on the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. So with Neptune and Pisces, we need to come to terms with ourselves and how we present in the world. And I think that's what Neptune's trying to teach us, with compassion, but we're having to learn things the hard way, which most humans do, but and so we will come out on the other side, but it's going to take a lot of spiritual guidance, from above, from I don't know. There are a lot of good people on this earth that are stepping up and trying to heal our world. So I think individually people are coming to that realization that they are love and that they can make a difference, and hence all the people you see that are coming out and standing on the side of good. Yeah, so I do appreciate that very, very much. It's just wonderful to see. And for years I've been wondering, when is the younger generation going to step up and do something? And so finally, I guess this is something. They're coming out in droves and protesting. George Floyd murder, and so the charges have been pressed against the other officers, but it took a lot to do that. So so Neptune is touching. It's touching all of us, and will continue to touch us. And part of it is the isolation. Neptune in Pisces is just happy in its own little world. So some people that have been quarantined. Well, we all have been quarantined, but they're like totally content with it, it's like, and others they can't stand it. They can't stand to be with themselves that long. So, but Neptune and Pisces, it is isolation, it's prisons, it's institutions, it's hospitals, it's disease, pandemics. Yeah, so anyway, I don't want to ramble on too long. I just hope you're all taking very good care of yourselves. Just, yeah, I just pray that we don't have a huge outbreak after this, but being that close, both for the police and for the protesters and the National Guard, that's too close for comfort. That's not 6 feet apart. But at the same time, racial injustice has to be dealt with. So there's really there's no blurred lines. I was thinking of that song, Blurred Lines, and the band Blur. Yeah, there's no blurred lines with Neptune. Yeah, it's time. It's time. So anyway, I hope you all take care. If you like this channel, please like, subscribe, and share. All right, take care.